Nirvana with All Apologies on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Happy Monday. Looks like this week's going to be really nice weather-wise, right around 80 all week long with lots of sunshine, maybe a couple of clouds, but no real rain in the forecast until maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the weekend might get a little wet, but it looks like we'll be pretty dry during the week, which is good. I got to get the lawn mowed. Got to do that, work on the fire pit, get that thing done.
Stuff's drying out, including the corn.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of that this weekend. Looks real good, real big, real tall, starting to dry out.
Big, beautiful corn.
Yep. Big, very big, beautiful corn.
Yeah. We've got lots to get to this morning. We've got a new Karen of the day. We'll do that a bit later on. We'll get to bad news, happy music. Going to talk about a guy named Jim Sullivan. Also some baby naming trends that are happening right now.
I held a brand new baby on Saturday.
Better you than me.
I did.
That stuff rubs off
Oh
on
my
you if you're not
gosh, it was
careful.
so great. Somebody I knew, and I said to my husband, I go, oh, look at that brand new baby.
Did
and then
they
they kept
offer it
walking.
up?
Yes. Then they kept walking toward us, and then I looked up, and then I saw Mom. Like at first, I was fixated on the little baby, and then all of a sudden, I was like, I know these people, and I got to hold it for like half an hour, and she fell asleep and everything.
I got to pet several dogs during the parade yesterday. That was really nice. Yeah,
Nice.
picked up my mother-in-law, fireman style, threw her over my shoulder, carried her about half a block, and dropped her down. On the street, and then pet a bunch of dogs. One dog, Rocket, little wire-haired schnauzer type dog. Oh my God, so cute. And several other dogs. That's definitely my favorite part of the parades. I mean, handing out candy and buttons and fist bumps and high-fiving kids is all nice and dandy. But man, if you could pet a dog while you were doing a parade on a warm summer day, that's some chef's kiss type stuff right there. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Yeah.
Baby names, so we'll get to that. I wonder if
it's a trend. It's not so much
okay, got it.
It's a new trend, newish trend that people apparently are
brand new baby
going
fell
through.
asleep right in
But,
my arms. It's great.
Yeah, well, they do that.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Either that or they grab your beard and they start crying.
This one was,
out,
brand new.
Yeah.
Like
we saw a few of those along the parade route yesterday. Some real new babies, like fresh out the oven.
Still smell the baby smell and everything.
Probably, yeah. Rockmornings.com to get in touch with us. And, of course, we want to hear from you. Want to know what you did this weekend. You were at a pizza place. You were with the kids.
Yeah,
farm.
Saturday was a great day. Yesterday was a lot of chores and a lot of, grown-up stuff. But, yes, Saturday we left in the morning, just me and the husband, and went down to see our friend at City Meat Market in New Albany. And stocked up.
I saw. You got a lot of stuff.
Dude, we stocked up. So dropped a bunch of cash there, and then went down to Lansing to see the progress on the bridge.
Yep.
And took the ferry across and saw that gorgeous area and people out on the river. Went back home, did some chores, then got the girls, and then went out to Wing Haven Pizza Farm. Mm-hmm. So, and live music, fun little band there. It was playing and had a couple beers and waiting for our food. And yeah, it was packed, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody decided on a beautiful weekend to go get some pizza at the pizza farm. So did that on Saturday night. And
we went to Eckers after the parade was over in Ettrick. It was Ettrick
nice.
Fun Days. And so we went over to Eckers and had a couple of beers there and did a few Ein Prosits with the wonderful people at Eckers, and yeah, it was a good time.
Did you get some apples or pies or anything?
Did. Well, we bought some apples. Wife got some caramel or caramel, whatever you want to call it, and a few other things, but still a little early for it's still like the whole apple vibe hasn't really set in yet. But it was you got to buy apples when you go to an apple orchard, so yeah, so good times, can't complain. We'll get to the latest from Nickelback featuring John 5, and we'll do that next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Got a recall on dog food. Check your pantry, check your cabinets. If you have the From Family Foods wet dog food products, you may want to give it a look. Not a ton of cases, but about 6,000 cases are being recalled due to complaints of metal contamination. Now, when they get complaints, that means it actually happened. Sometimes they find it in the product they've got in the factory, and then they do a voluntary recall, but it sounds like they've gotten some complaints about this. The Food and Drug Administration issuing the recall of over 3,800 cases of the From turkey pate wet dog food and over 1,900 cases of the From Diner Classics Milo's Meatloaf Pate wet dog food. Those products distributed throughout neighborhood pet stores and online retailers across the U.S. and in Canada. So if you've got From wet food in your cabinet, your pantry, if you're feeding it to your dogs, you may want to take a look and make sure that you don't have the From wet pate. A couple of different versions. Check that out. Darth Vader apparently pro-flock. I'm not sure if you saw this, but it was really funny.
I did not.
Obviously, the flock cameras are a big to-do. Everyone's talking about them. Several local police organizations have decided not to put them back up. We know Winona had them cut down, and they said we're not going to go that route. West Salem, I believe, took all theirs down.
Saw that.
And there's a San Diego Public Safety and Livable Neighborhoods Committee meeting, and a guy showed up recently wearing a Darth Vader costume and said how much he loves those flock cameras.
Thank you. Darth Vader?
The Emperor is a fan of flock because we all know that the flock cameras are not only following the license plate readers, they are following children so that we can follow and surveil the rebel scum as they move from playground to playground, from playground to pool, from pool to gymnasium. I need this so I can stalk my ex-girlfriend. This technology will help us find Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing.
Obviously a bit tongue-in-cheek there, but the Darth Vader protest was also aimed at recent revelations there in San Diego that the SDPD quietly entered into a pilot agreement for Flock's new Nova platform. Have you heard about this?
I have not at all. Nova for Flock, okay?
AI-driven system that goes beyond reading plates by allowing investigators to link targets to open-source intelligence, marriage records, and gang affiliations. The contract, this is with the SDPD, San Diego Police Department, was reportedly signed without informing the city council or the privacy advisory board. So obviously they've got some issues there. And Darth Vader's showing up to show his support for the flock cameras. Says the Emperor really likes it. In Minneapolis, Spider-Man showed up to save the day, apparently. Did you see this guy?
Superheroes everywhere.
Yeah,
Villains.
there's Darth Vaders and Spider-Mans and all sorts of stuff. But, yeah, so Jake Lang showed up in Minneapolis over the weekend.
I saw that. Didn't
for a protest, and some guy dressed up in a Spider-Man costume. First, he tried to pull down the barricades there, and then he jumped on the back of this guy's truck and started throwing haymakers at everybody. They got arrested. Spider-Man's got a GoFundMe account for him. I don't know if it's legitimate, but they've raised over $31,000 of a $40,000 wish list for the Spider-Man in Minneapolis fighting back against Jake Lang and several other people. And so looks like his legal fees will be taken care of if he needs any help with that. Some guy in a Spider-Man costume. World's going to hell, Gene. E-scooters are apparently a big thing. You've seen them zooming around on sidewalks and on streets, but they're not very safe. In fact, they're so unsafe that the Consumer Reports people are not recommending any e-scooters. Consumer Reports, obviously very important organization, reviewing and recapping all sorts of different things, including these e-scooters. They say new safety data has shown that injuries on e-scooters are both widespread and in many cases very serious. For that reason, Consumer Reports does not currently recommend any electric scooters. We also recognize they're increasingly popular and many people ride them. If you choose to ride an e-scooter, it's important to understand the risks and how to ride as safely as possible. And they've obviously got some stuff, info and data and suggestions on their website, consumerreports.org, but they're not recommending any of those e-scooters. They're all unsafe and dangerous. People are getting injured all over the place. So, going back to Minnesota, I don't know, are you familiar with a tree trimming grapple? Do you know what a grapple is?
No.
So it's the claw that they use to move the trees around?
Yes, then yes.
Yeah, some guy got his head squished in one of those by his coworker.
Accidentally?
No, like kind of, but was effing around. Like they were doing something they should have been doing. Apparently they were playing a shadow game. So the one guy is in the machine operating the grapple. The other guy is on the ground. And this guy noticed that there was like, you know, kind of like when you do shadow puppets.
Yes.
Saw his buddy's shadow, his coworker's shadow, and the grapple was kind of over by it. And so then he tried to like move it around and didn't realize, wasn't paying attention to where the actual grapple was. He was watching the shadow. And then when he opened and closed it, the buddy's head was in the...
No,
Yeah, kind of like squished his head. Tons of blood and... Yeah, this is in Apple Valley, Minnesota on Thursday. Christopher Boone Crimmins operating the machinery on the back of a truck while his coworker, a guy named Tyler Anthony Lynch, was on the ground cleaning up branches. This guy essentially had his head squished and killed. Authorities allege that Crimmins was responsible for the incident through negligence. He created an unreasonable risk and consciously takes chances of causing death or great bodily harm to another. He's been charged with a felony count of second-degree manslaughter. If convicted, he could go up to 10 years in prison and a $20,000 fine. But, yeah, just a haunting scene there. Must be awful to be on that job site and watch a coworker get his head smushed in a piece of machinery that could have been avoided, obviously.
Oh, my gosh.
Wisconsin high school football player dying from injuries on a game Thursday night. Yeah. This is right up the street from us, by the way. I've seen several people that I know on social media sharing the mother's post about the son. Adam Massman, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. Senior at Lincoln Junior Senior High School in Alma Center, injured during a game on Thursday. Got medical support from EMTs on site before then being brought to a hospital. He was active in the Lincoln community, participating in multiple sports clubs and activities. I saw that he was showing heifers recently at a county
State fair probably.
and won an award. And so, yeah, apparently I'm not quite sure what the injuries were, but died from his injuries that he sustained during that game on Thursday night in Alma Center, just 45 miles southeast of Eau Claire. And more info about Hayden Panettiere's death has become available. Zach Hickerson, the brother of her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, told his version of the story to TMZ. He said he left church last Sunday morning, texted both Hayden and his brother. Neither of them answered. He thought maybe they were sleeping, drove to the Airbnb where he and his brother and Panettiere were staying. Didn't have the door code, apparently, so he knocked loudly and woke up his brother, who was asleep with Hayden on the fold-out couch, which is kind of strange because we had heard last week that Brian and the brother, Zach, were both living at this Airbnb when Hayden flew south to visit with them. Now, you come back from church on Sunday and you don't have the door code, even though you've been staying in this place for a while? Kind of iffy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, was he staying there the whole time? I don't know. Who knows, right?
Apparently, Brian woke up, answered the door. Hayden was apparently asleep on a fold-out couch. They tried to wake her up, realized she was unconscious. Brian administered a dose of the Narcan that they found. 911 was called, started CPR. Paramedics took over when they got there. Zach, in his telling of the story, didn't say what Hayden overdosed on, though. They obviously had found a bunch of drugs there on the scene.
Yeah, well, they thought Narcan was going to help.
Yeah, and her mom, by the way, Leslie Vogel, is claiming that Brian, the brother, the on-again, off-again boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, apparently was, like, selling a bunch of her stuff before her death, pawning a bunch of her stuff, including a classic guitar and some other things. And Leslie Vogel, who obviously had a difficult relationship with her daughter, said she visited with her last year in L.A. when she was struggling and in physical pain. Shocked to find out that Brian Hickerson, who had filed for bankruptcy in 2022, had pawned a bunch of her stuff, including a vintage guitar. So the investigation into Hayden Panettiere's death continues as things get murkier and murkier with the two brothers and drugs and Narcan and just...
Well, and was he pawning them unbeknownst to her, or did she want him to for money?
It sounds like that.
Was she like, go ahead and sell these things, we'll take the money? And I mean, maybe she wasn't in the best financial place either, it sounds like.
Yeah. And in the latest in a string of incidents at WNBA games, Enes Kanter, the former NBA player who declared for the WNBA draft a couple of weeks ago, was at one of the games last night and got his ass kicked out of the game.
Chicago staying in it. Natasha Cloud. And right before the break, this was the scene inside Wintrust Arena. After Natasha Cloud got that bucket, she wanted her voice heard. We have talked about the conversations surrounding the W. That is Enes Kanter in the building today. And he has voiced how he's felt about the situation. Natasha Cloud voicing her opinion as well. Kanter was just escorted out.
Yeah, so former NBA player Enes Kanter either bought a ticket or got a ticket given to him and was sitting courtside wearing a black shirt that said woman, noun, adult, human, female. Timeout was called late in the third quarter, and Natasha Cloud of the Chicago Sky walked over. They started yelling at stuff at each other. He stood up and put his arms out. Security got involved, and they escorted him out of the building. After the game, the head coach of the Sky, Tyler Marsh, said there's so much good things about this league and so many good things about the play of these players. And if you come to a game, you should probably come to enjoy the basketball. That seems pretty simple to me. I think these players deserve that and have earned that. Being a former basketball player, you should probably understand and feel that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Enes Kanter Freedom ejected from a WNBA game, and things in the WNBA continue to get...
And they're just trying to play some basketball, right? Like, you guys, it's people, what they're wearing and what they're doing.
Yeah. What a mess. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Got more sports coming up in just a bit. A Karen of the day after 8 a.m. Baby names. We'll talk about that. Bad News, Happy Music. I mentioned that. Rockmornings.com if you want to get in touch with us. Love to hear from you guys this morning. Right now, it's that latest from Nickelback, tune called Rattle the Cage, featuring John 5 of Motley Crue and formerly Rob Zombie.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
That looks like it's absolutely going to stand, and these kids and these fans that are here know they just watched an unbelievable end. 2 gold gloves, 3 gold gloves. Wow, what an end. Harris with a terrific play out there in center field. The Brewers do not go down without a fight.
They don't. And the Atlanta Braves pull this one out because of their defense.
That was the final call from the Little League Classic yesterday. Williamsport, as the Brewers dropped one to the Braves after winning the first 2 in the series. Got the win on Friday afternoon, 2-1. Beat them again Saturday, 4-1. Then they lost 4-2 last night. Brew Crew off today. They'll be in New York for the first of 3 against the Mets.
They're on the road
tomorrow night, starting at 6:10. On Friday, The Miz improved to 13-5 with a 1.68 ERA, 216 strikeouts, and a big duel against another ace. That would be Chris Sale. When he got to the locker room for the post-game press conference, wasn't a lot of press in there. Had to wonder why.
This is it? Packers play today. There it is.
This is it? And then one of the reporters says, yeah, Packers play today. There it is.
Okay. They don't have enough to split?
Well,
like your
look,
Packers, your
when you have a big matchup between a couple of, contending teams, the Braves and the Brewers, and you got Chris Sale going against Jacob Mizorowski, you expect maybe a little bit more media in the locker room.
Where is everybody?
Yeah, but then one of the guys from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Kurt Hogg, said Packers play today. And the Miz is like,
there it is.
There it is. Speaking of the Little League Classic, which occurred last night in Williamsport between the Brewers and the Braves, the MLB commissioner, Rob Manfred, announced that the next version, next year's 2027, will be the Blue Jays and the Cubs. During the game last night, Rob Manfred made the announcement that the 2027 Little League Classic in Williamsport will be on Thursday next year, August 19th. It'll move to a Thursday night to accommodate ESPN's new broadcast schedule with baseball, if we actually have a Major League Baseball season, because there are reports that there may be a lockout. New collective bargaining agreement. Players want to get more money. Owners want a cap. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, as we mentioned, the Packers did play on Friday. They beat the Broncos in Denver 33-13. Lions beating the Commanders on Saturday 17-13. The Vikings, them and J.J. McCarthy looked pretty bad, actually. 13-3. They lost to the Ravens. Look, it's preseason. You take whatever you can, but you still want to see
what's happening.
You want to see your starting quarterback go out there and at least look like he can play NFL football. Bears lost to the Bengals on Saturday, 27-9.
Go Bears.
Not a good showing from the Bears. Final week of the preseason in the NFL begins on Thursday with several games. Packers will be at home against Arizona on Friday night at 7 p.m. I've already had 7 people offer me free tickets for that game.
Really?
Yeah, well, look, it's a third. No one's playing. It's all the scrubs.
But do you really want to? Yeah.
Wait, we can't. We're going to that Joey Chestnut baseball game on Friday.
Oh, that's right. You're going to watch him eat some, or are you? It's
we didn't win. We didn't win the contest to get on into the competition
audience
against him.
versus Chestnut.
Yeah. So basically, when you bought the VIP ticket for this game, it's a Wisconsin Timber Rattlers game, I believe, in Appleton. And Joey Chestnut's going to be there and do a little pregame thing, a little meet and greet, press the flesh. And then he's going to do an eating competition where he eats a bunch of brats and kraut and pretzels and stuff like that. And one of the VIP ticket people had a chance to compete against him on the field And
you threw your name in? And
well, no, you just automatically are in the running when you purchase the tickets. And my wife got an email last week saying that we didn't win. So, which I'm kind of glad about, because honestly, I don't know if I want to jam a bunch of tubular meat and sauerkraut into my gut and then try to sit around and watch a baseball game.
The ultimate Brattoberfest platter is what he's eating.
Something
apparently.
like that.
Sauerkraut, cheese curds, Bavarian pretzels, bratwursts.
My best friend in the entire world, along with my best buddy in the entire world, were at this race yesterday in New Hampshire, their first ever NASCAR race. I got to text him later on today and find out how it went, because we were busy yesterday with a parade. We had an Oktoberfest parade in Ettrick. The Fun Days was going down. But Donut and my buddy Jake, his son, were at the NASCAR race in New Hampshire.
When he sees the checkered flag, he will have led 115 laps this year. It'll be his third win on the season, and back-to-back here in New Hampshire, Ryan Blaney victorious. What a drive for the team.
Great job, guys. Great job. Appreciate the fast car all weekend. Thanks for sticking in there. Good call, Jonathan. Congratulations, guys. Good 2 in a row. That's awesome.
Ryan Blaney goes back-to-back in the Granite State as number 12 Ford for Team Penske, winning his third race of the season, taking the checkered flag yesterday at the Dollar Tree 301 in New Hampshire and Loudon. Going to victory lane for the second consecutive season. This win is Blaney's 20th of his NASCAR Cup Series win. And I'll have to talk to Donut later on, see how it went, see if Jake enjoyed himself.
Race fans, I take it. Otherwise, they wouldn't go in the first place.
I think just event fans. They go to wrestling. They go to concerts. They like to do stuff. Donut, for my entire life, was terrified of fireworks. So it's kind of interesting to see him go out and watch loud sports like motorsports. But they had the headphones on and all the headsets on, so you can dampen out the track noise. And that's a small track in a small stadium, so it's not like Daytona where you could be way up in the in the nosebleeds and kind of avoid some of that. But yeah,
kind of neat in their backyard, so they got tickets and were able to be there when it have all the action in front of them.
Yeah, I don't like that English guy on the Netflix call. I'm not a fan of that.
Is he always doing?
I don't know. I don't. It's just like I don't like hearing his voice.
That's good feedback.
I want to hear. I
don't like hearing your.
Well, I want to hear Kurt Busch or somebody. I want to hear somebody that
with a little southern
twang,
accent,
a little twang, man. I'm watching now. Oh, blighty! This guy is in the right lane. What's he doing? Driving the wrong way on the street.
You want more
like I don't want to hear you governor.
Cracklins.
I want to hear that guy talking about tea time. Get out of here, jerk. Go back to your country. Get the hell out of here. That bloke is driving really fast. I want to hear this guy. I don't even know who he is. I'm sure Doc will text me. Wherever that English guy is on the broadcast, I don't like him. Get rid of his ass. I'm sure he's some famous. He's probably some famous racer too. Probably some IndyCar dude.
Yes.
I don't want to hear him. I want to hear this guy. Hey man, look at this guy. He's going real fast over here on the left. Yep, he's going to pass him. Oh my God, boogity boogity. I want to hear some stuff, man. That's what I want to hear. RockMornings.com to get in touch with us. We'll get to some Beastie Boys here in a couple minutes.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Well, it's good to hear that I'm not alone. Doc texting in, as I knew he would, talking about this NASCAR announcer guy. His name is Lee Diffie. He's got the right last name. There's a Joe Diffie, country music guy. I don't know much about him, but Australian-American auto racing track and field commentator, best known for being the lead play-by-play announcer for much of NBC Sports motorsports coverage, currently calling NASCAR Cup Series and a couple of others. Before that, he was the lead voice of NBC's Formula One and IndyCar Series, which I would expect, right? Some Australian guy or some English dude or whatever. Diffie working play-by-play for NBC's coverage of the Summer and Winter Olympics.
Worked on the Speed Channel before moving to NBC when Formula One, and then transferring over to...
I said to Doc, I don't like him. He said, not many NASCAR fans do. I said, it reminds me of the British guy on the WWE pay-per-views. I don't mind the British accent. I just don't want to hear it during NASCAR or wrestling. It just doesn't come off right to me.
Doesn't fit the product in your mind?
It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like lamb and tuna fish, right? Two things that don't go good together. I want to hear Waltrip and guys like him on the call.
As opposed to a distinct international accent? Is that what you're saying?
It just, I don't know. Maybe it's the red, white, and blue blood I got pulsing through my veins. I don't know what it is, but I hear it and it just like, The hell does that guy know about NASCAR? Shut up.
Well, he probably knows a ton, is whether you want to hear an accent or not. I mean, he's been in it most of his adult life. I'm sure he knows a ton.
Here, a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. So WWE has a Spanish announce table. It's famous, right? The wrestlers all go through it.
Yeah.
Would you put a German guy who speaks Spanish with a German accent on there? Of course not. It doesn't work. Now, good for him. He can speak multiple languages. That's not a knock on the guy, but I'm just saying. Like, I'm watching NASCAR, bro. I want to hear NASCAR people. I don't want to hear Joe Diffie from across the pond, mate. Get out of here with that.
One of the most prolific voices in motorsports.
Well, good for him. He obviously doesn't care what I think. I'm just saying. I don't usually even watch it. I just hear the highlights when I come in on Monday, and I got to hear this guy. And I'm like, God, when are
NBC, I guess.
When are we going back to Fox or somewhere else? The USA Network. It's somebody on there. I mean, you even got old Peyton Manning over there, the 42. Get him on there. I don't know. Give me somebody. Anybody. New episode of Dancing with the Stars on tonight. The next pro. This is the one where they're trying to figure out who's going to be the next one to help people learn how to dance. It's the semifinals, apparently. Apparently on ABC. New episode of American Ninja Warrior on NBC. It's part 3 of the national finals. And then a new episode of Beat Shazam. Not a whole lot of stuff on TV tonight. Kimmel's new. He's going to be guest hosted by Jelly Roll tonight.
All week? Just tonight?
I don't know if it's all week, but last week it was Rosie O'Donnell, so this week you got Jelly Roll. He's going to be talking to Glenn Powell, Jay Shetty, and Sarah Niemitz. The other 2 shows, Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers, are in repeats. Yellowstone is getting sued. Taylor Sheridan, Paramount, and NBC Universal all being sued by a writer who claims that this guy stole her idea for a television show and used it to create Yellowstone.
Yeah, supposedly.
A decade ago.
Yes, yeah, I know.
It took you a decade to come up with this lawsuit? That's the problem with these things.
Yeah.
This thing has been super duper popular for a decade. It spawned like 9,000 spinoffs. And now, 10 years later, you're going to try to cash in on this? Wouldn't you? And I'm sure, like, if it really happened to you, you'd be up in arms the first year or two. But
really long
does it take a decade to put all this together? The writer says that she submitted a pilot script, a show Bible, and a pitch deck for a show called Sovereign Nation to Sheridan and his representatives back in 2016, 2017. She says Yellowstone used her plot details and casting recommendations. She's seeking damages and profits tied to the alleged copyright infringement, wants to stop future and continued infringement. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
You mean there's never, ever been a show about a bunch of ranchers in the West? Yeah. Bless you. You're the only one who could have thought that up?
Dude, I have a Yellowstone bar book, like drinks from Yellowstone. I got 2 that came with like 2 little mixed glasses for Christmas.
Okay.
They make Yellowstone like frozen meals. Like you can get a lunch from like, you know,
with bison
that's branded with Yellowstone. I mean, like you're way down the...
You're into it. You're probably getting a tattoo of it, right?
But I mean, you're way late to be coming to the Yellowstone party. The merch alone is ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
Brand your cattle.
Buck Cherry, boy, oh boy, what a weekend for those
accident.
guys.
Ugh.
Yeah, deadly bus accident. They didn't kill anybody. No one on their team was killed. It was another accident that they were a sort of it was a chain of events that kind of occurred. Buck Cherry's tour bus involved in a multi-vehicle accident in South Carolina at about 2 a.m. on Friday. It was on I-26 in Spartanburg County. No one in the band or their crew getting hurt, but a person who stopped on the highway and got out of their car was killed. So it sounds like they got out of their vehicle and then got... Oh, my God. They got hit by some... Well, 2 a.m. and you're getting out of your car on the highway. It's never a good idea.
It sounds like as a concerned person to try to see what... how they could help, and then struck by a car.
Buck Cherry said that tragically, authorities have confirmed that the collision that occurred ahead of our bus resulted in a fatality. Our thoughts and deepest condolences are with the family and loved ones of the person who lost their life. Sincerely appreciate everyone who has reached out with concern and support. We actually know one of the guys in the band. He's from around here, Troy. And I was watching his socials all weekend, posting about, waking up in the morning to begin, getting tossed around in your bunk and not knowing what's going on. And, and then finding out afterwards that there's a death and you got to switch button. And, you're on a tour and you got to, and it's just unimaginable.
Mm-hmm.
Elsewhere, the long-awaited return of the Grand Theft Auto franchise is coming to an end soon. We're getting a new GTA video game here in the future. And what people really like about GTA is that it's somewhat realistic, right? It's an open world concept. You can drive around everywhere. You can commit all sorts of crimes. You got to run away from the cops. You got to do all these things, right? One of the things that you never had to do in GTA was fill up your gas tank. You just had unlimited gas.
Never had to drink a glass of water, go to the bathroom, fill up with gas.
Yes, much like the show 24 where Kiefer Sutherland never drank, ate, or pooped. He just kept running.
He just kept solving crimes. It's the same kind of thing. You don't ever have to put gas in the tank.
Well, apparently that's not the case in the new GTA game. Apparently you're going to have to start putting gas in your vehicle, which I just saw. There was a guy I think it was in L.A. on a motorcycle. Did you see that guy last week? He was involved in and not the first guy ever, but it was funny because he was on a motorcycle. He's in a police chase, and he's running away on his motorcycle, and he pulls up to a gas pump, realizes, I got to get some gas in this bike if I'm going to really get away from these cops. And he had a mask on. He pulls his mask down in full view of the camera, and then he puts his credit card in the machine and then pumps the gas and then takes off. It was,
And they have the whole thing on camera, so now they're looking for that guy.
But, apparently in the new GTA game, you're going to have to pump gas.
Is that gasoline I smell?
Grand Theft Auto 6 has some leaks that have been coming out, and in one of them, you might be required to refuel your cars. Unclear how realistic the mileage metrics will be. Is it like every day you got to fill a car up? Is it every couple of 100 miles you got to fill a car up? Unsure if it's something you can toggle on and toggle off, like if you want to do true realistic, where you got to, pump the gas, pay for the gas, get out of the car, be in the store. Maybe you get to loot the store. I have no idea. But
get yourself something from the hot spot.
There you go. Hell yeah. Get yourself a tornado or
get a little snack on your way out. Yeah. Glazer.
Oof. But new Grand Theft Auto game coming out here soon. And apparently one of the things that you
got to take care of your vehicle.
That they added up. Well, I don't know. You used to be able to just pull into the car wash and the thing would change colors and you'd be able to avoid the cops and your threat level would go down or whatever. But now you're going to have to make sure you got enough gas to get away from the cops or else you could be screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for those spike sticks. We'll see when the game finally comes out. Looking forward to it, though. Your kid ever get into GTA?
I guess he never talked about it. I'm assuming he played, but must not have been high up on the list.
All right. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Get in touch with us online. Go to rockmornings.com. Got a request for some Metallica for Zach, and we'll do that here in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Requested Seven Dust for Mark. Said he wasn't able to listen last week. He was out of range. Couldn't get service on his cell phone either. No phone single. Station wouldn't come in on the radio. Wanted to hear some Seven Dust.
Couldn't listen on the app?
Apparently the entire week. I was wondering why I didn't get any emails from Mark. So did that. Also some Kerosene. Got a request for some Metallica. Zach texting in, talking about his dad passing away recently and wanted to hear some Metallica. It was his dad's favorite band. So we'll get to that here in just a couple of minutes. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Mark. Thanks, Doc, as well, for the text earlier. Rockmornings.com if you want to get in touch with us. There's a guy... pretty cool move here. This guy, his name is Ethan Corona, and he helped raise a bunch of money to pay off medical debt for people. Like $1.2 million worth of medical debt.
That's a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit of debt. Debt can, obviously, we've heard so many times about how families are one medical issue away from bankruptcy, and having somebody come to your rescue when you've got a big bill over your head.
20-year-old college student from Ohio helping to erase more than $1 million in medical debt for strangers.
How'd he do it?
In his county, right where he lives. This is in Ohio. So his name is Ethan Corona. He partnered up with another nonprofit to raise a little over $10,000, which was used to buy and cancel debit debt for over 1,100 people across the county that he lives in. He was surprised that such a relatively small amount of money, the $10,000, could be used to make such a big impact. The nonprofit that he worked with was able to turn every dollar that he raised into $100 of medical debt cancellation. So the $10,000 turned into much, much more. It's pretty interesting.
And to think of that at 20 years old, that you're going to take care of other people and what they've got going on, with a medical situation.
Lives in Shaker Heights, Ohio, encountering another conundrum this year when he was schooled in the realm of unpaid medical bills. With the right planning, he said millions of dollars of his neighbor's medical debt could be relieved for the price of a used sedan, all by making a couple of calls. So he called a couple of people, including Undue Medical Debt, which is a nonprofit based in New York City, raised a little over $10,000 from a short list of donors, and then starting last week helped to buy up and cancel about $1.3 million in medical debt for 1,148 Cuyahoga County residents there in Ohio.
That's a large impact of people that he's affecting and changing things for them. If they no longer have to worry about that, you can start,
Said it took him 2 months of work to get it all accomplished, half of his summer break as a sophomore public policy major at Duke University, and he decided to use his time for good by raising some money and then using it to cancel medical debt for people. It's impressive.
That's a hell of a summer.
What surprised me the most was the fact that I had to be the person doing it. $10,000 for most government budgets is like rounding errors to some extent. Yeah, you could lose 10 grand and not even think about it in the government, right? Because you're talking about millions, billions, trillions of dollars. But for the average, consumer, obviously that's a lot of money. Woman in Los Angeles going viral for her video about her upstairs neighbor. We know, of course, about the guy.
I saw the story.
Yeah, so we know so much about the guy that got the accidental text. She was supposed to be texting her grandson about coming over for Thanksgiving. Texted this one guy instead, and they became friends, and they've been doing the Thanksgiving dinner for over a decade.
Years. I mean, he's been going to Thanksgiving at their house. Her husband has since passed. He's, really taken on a role to help her. And, they formed a relationship. And it sounds like these people will have a forever relationship as well.
You hope so. It's kind of a similar situation. Heidi Widmer, moving from Buffalo to L.A. following a divorce. She was excited to start a new chapter of her life. She's living in this apartment, but there's somebody upstairs, and they're dropping bowling balls on the floor. They're practicing tap dance. I mean, and that's what happens when you live in an apartment building. You get neighbors, right? And sometimes they can affect your daily life. Well, come to find out, it was not them dropping bowling balls or tap dancing. It was a walker that this old lady was using upstairs. And the old lady was fighting to stay alive, essentially, right? Having trouble cooking and cleaning and going out and getting groceries and doing just daily activities. And so Heidi went up there to see what was going on and found out that this woman needs a lot of help.
My first night was a little rough. Noisy neighbor above. It's your downstairs neighbor. Do you need anything?
This poor lady can barely get down the stairs. And I'm wondering what the bowling ball sound is. That's her walker.
Carol, you got family?
No.
Got no family here?
No.
Ma'am.
I've been alone for years.
Her quality of life, it's rough.
So getting her AC units, he's replacing the carpet, putting a screen door in, and even a stove.
Heidi, I'm deeply grateful for all you have done for me, and I love you dearly.
Yeah, so Carol is her upstairs neighbor, has Parkinson's disease, struggling to live independently. Heidi started to help her out, cooking some meals, cleaning, some trash pickup, some paperwork. They got real close, obviously real fast. Shared the story online. People across the country pitching in with letters and groceries, helped raise more than $60,000 for Carol's needs. Got the landlord to make some upgrades to her apartment, including a new stove and a new air conditioning unit to help keep things cool there in L.A. Now refers to Heidi as her granddaughter.
Yeah, some new carpet, some new flooring. I saw that they were going to work on stairs or like a ramp because she hadn't left her apartment. That was part of the problem. She couldn't get in and out. Her transportation. She doesn't have any family, so she's all alone there. And yeah, this downstairs neighbor moving in, and think about that too, right? The lady below is relocating because of a divorce. So this out of this presumably horrible situation, this relationship and this love blossoms, and she's able to completely change the life, the remainder of this woman's life, and create this friendship and this bond and make her years more comfortable. And what a gift.
Pretty cool move by Heidi, helping out Carol in L.A. We've got some interesting stuff to get to. We're going to talk about baby names, a new trend in baby names. There's a thing that I saw that's kind of tied into some stuff that we've been watching on TV. I wanted to get to that. A guy named Jim Sullivan.
Okay, tied into some of the things you've been watching?
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And then a new Karen of the day, who I actually kind of agree with. In fact, I totally 100% agree with this Karen.
Sometimes there's some truth to the things that make people aggravated.
I get it. We mock them, right? Because it's a little bit of self-centeredness, but doesn't mean
she might have a point.
Doesn't mean they're wrong. Doesn't mean that they're wrong, Gene. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that at all. Also got some requests of Metallica for Zach, who just lost his father. We'll do that next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
So I'd say we, but I'm more by proxy. It's just because I'm there. My wife's been revisiting and rewatching all these ancient alien shows on, History Channel or whatever, Nat Geo. And there's a billion of them, right? And they're all about aliens and rock formations. The rock formation one that I watched the other day is pretty intriguing.
Okay.
Because you're talking about these rock formations that were built,
like
thousands,
pyramids kind of thing?
Not necessarily pyramids, but like all over the globe, right? I mean, we think about the pyramids right away when you think about rock formations, but there's hundreds, if not thousands, of these things in all sorts of different places all across the globe, and they were done thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And some of the technology, I mean, you couldn't accomplish it with what we have available today.
Yeah, you say it's impossible. How
and
would
we're
it
talking
possibly...
like, well, the one episode we were watching, the guy's like, these people were basically one generation removed from cavemen, right? We're talking about dudes with loincloths and spears, and they're trying to hunt buffalo, and you know what I mean? Like, I made fire. They don't even have a language yet. And these guys are doing these crazy rocks, and they're geometric shapes, and they have no tools to like cut them and to form them. They're not using any sort of spackle.
But they're perfectly at
it's crazy, right? And it does, it triggers the mind, right? And you start thinking about this stuff. Well, this story, I saw this article, I don't know, a couple of months ago. It was back in July, but I didn't get to it at the time, and it just seemed like this was a good day to bring it up. Have you ever heard of a guy named Jim Sullivan?
It's not ringing a bell. Right. It doesn't mean that I haven't.
Average American could be the guy next door name, right?
Right. I think he's my neighbor.
1969. There's a guy named Jim Sullivan. He's a musician. He's not a well-known musician, but he's done a couple of albums, and he's trying to get his, burgeoning musical career off the ground.
Okay.
Got a family, the whole 9 yards, right? Trying to do this whole thing. Recorded an album called UFO, which featured very strange lyrics about leaving his family and being abducted by aliens. 6 years later, this guy disappears without a trace. The only evidence was his abandoned car, which was found on a desert road. This guy was on his way from Malibu to Nashville in a Volkswagen Beetle. Punch buggy red, punch buggy blue, right? One of these things. Checked into a motel in Santa Rosa, bought a bottle of vodka, then abandoned his vehicle, and was last seen reportedly walking alongside away from his bug. Somebody must have driven by and seen him. This guy's guitar, his cash, his clothing, and a bunch of his albums, including the UFO album from 1969 and his self-titled album, found at the scene of his last known whereabouts. His son, a professor at San Diego's Mesa College, said, "After the facts, we heard absolutely nothing about what happened to my dad. Our families were out there for a time. They were bulldogs, even tried to get people to fess up, but nothing ever came of it. I've had a long time to think about this." Now, they found some remains.
I was just going to say,
but it wasn't him.
Yeah.
This guy disappeared without a trace. Now,
well, did he walk into the desert drunk on vodka and then just,
could he have been murdered by federales or maybe the mafia and there's a shallow grave out there? Sure, there could have been. But obviously the fact that this guy
wrote about an abduction and could possibly be abducted could be the explanation to where he went. Is he back?
No, not back.
Okay. He didn't get dropped back or anything?
No. Dad's relentless attempts to make it in the business were, which occupied much of the psychic energy of the house, made it difficult for his son, Chris, who was 13 at the time of his dad's disappearance, to listen to the records at the time, right? He's like, I don't want to listen to these. My dad's using all his energy to try to make these albums and get this thing off the ground. He said, I was probably sick of them because of that. Now, though, I think they're pretty good. UFO in particular, it's got a great sound quality to it. Second album, self-titled, called Jim Sullivan. This guy disappeared out in the middle of the desert somewhere, Gene, after writing an album about UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Drove his punch buggy blue to the hotel, got himself a bottle of vodka, then left all his worldly possessions behind, just like one of these UFO alien scientists that keep going missing. In this day and age, here we are, fast forward almost 60 years later, and these scientists are disappearing. They're leaving their glasses and their phones and their wallets at home, and they're all of a sudden disappearing from the face of the planet.
So he checked in, but he never really was in the hotel room. He went and bought the bottle of vodka, and then he went for a walk, right? That's where you lose me on the whole I disappeared thing. Because walking in the desert with a bottle of vodka, meh. Something could have happened to him. Easily. Humanly explained.
I don't know, Gene. I don't know. It piques the interest, though. That's what it's supposed to do. You get into
Took
a wormhole.
left instead of a right and got lost. And
this guy recording an album called UFO with lyrics about leaving his family and getting abducted by aliens. And then all of a sudden, he leaves all of his worldly possessions behind.
Or he purposefully disappears so he will have the legacy of the guy who wrote the UFO and then disappeared with no answers. Right?
Maybe.
If I walk strangely into the night, end it all, nobody finds me, I'm the guy who disappeared with the aliens, just like I said on my album.
Maybe you did.
And then
Maybe
it'll go crazy worldwide, and then my family will get rich on my...
Which that's obviously not happened for this guy. We'll see. Piques the interest, though. Just like these ancient alien shows, Gene. Talking about angels.
Now that's cool.
Talking about, well, the rock thing is really crazy because the one,
I think they're crazy because...
Well, and these things were all happening around the same time with multiple different types of civilizations without any way to contact one another, right?
Right.
And so the one, I can't remember where it was, but... And there's a lot of them, so there's one.
These are the mysterious marvels of the world.
There's one in France where they call it the fingers or something, and it's a bunch of stones that are coming up through the ground, and they've got holes bored in them, and they're in different angles towards the sky and stuff like that.
For
and
the sun to look through.
And there's
almost
thousands of these things, like mile-long rows of these things. And then the other one where the stones are literally cut. The guy's talking about you'd have to cut these things with diamonds. And special tools, and these people are once removed from a caveman, and they're out there, and these things are weighing 50 to 100 tons, and they're trying to move thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And you think of the workfore that will require, the amount of people in order to move those stones, and then to properly place them in a way that they're all, and it triggers the brain. It really does. The stone one, the alien stuff, whatever. I believe in aliens anyway, so it's not like you're trying to convince me. But the stone one thing is very. Weird. And then there's this one guy. They were talking about this one guy. I think he was in England. He created some kind of rock garden where he was able to levitate the stones. He was using electromagnetic fields to make the stones weightless, and he was moving them around like Magneto.
Like in the Dells where you pay $10 and it's the magic spot or whatever, like that.
And that's probably what it is. Some sort of electromagnetic, point on the map. It's crazy stuff, Gene. Zach texting in about losing his father just recently. Wanted to hear some Metallica. It was his dad's favorite band. So here you go, Zach.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
That looks like it's absolutely going to stand, and these kids and these fans that are here know they just watched an unbelievable end. 2 gold gloves to 3 gold gloves. Wow, what an end. Harris with a terrific play out there in center field. The Brewers do not go down without a fight.
They don't. And the Atlanta Braves pull this one out because of their defense.
Yeah, they got the win yesterday, but they lost the first 2 games of the series. 2-1 on Friday afternoon, 4-1 on Saturday, 4-2 loss last night for the Brew Crew. The Brewers are off today. They travel to New York for the first of 3 against the Mets. 6:10 first pitch tomorrow night. We'll get back to the Mets here in just a few minutes. Don't you go anywhere.
All right. Something happened with the Mets this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
It sure did?
You wait and see.
Okay.
Packers got a win in Denver over the Broncos on Friday night, 33-13. Lions over the Commanders on Saturday, 17-13. Vikings losing to the Ravens on Saturday, 13-3, and the Bears lost to the Bengals on Saturday as well, 27-9. That is week 2 in the NFL preseason. Week 3 would kick off on Thursday with several games. Packers are at home against Arizona on Friday night at 7 p.m., and then we're on to the regular season, which begins on Wednesday, September 9th, with the Patriots and the Seahawks. Not next Wednesday, the following Wednesday.
Got it. Yep.
This is going to be interesting. This is the start. This is where the floodgates open, supposedly. We'll see what happens here, but this has been the talk of the NFL preseason and the college football, the portal, and all this other stuff.
Okay.
Players going to the NFL, not making a team, and then going back to college, something that we've never really seen in the past.
And they're allowing that.
The Browns are waiving a tight end, a guy named Daquan Wright, who has an agreement already in place for the 2026 season to play for LSU if he clears waivers, according to his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. Wright is believed to be the first player to have an agreement to return to play in college after signing with an NFL team as an undrafted free agent. He signed with the Eagles after the draft. He was then claimed off waivers by the Browns. He hasn't practiced or played in a game, and so he's just been sort of languishing there, waiting for maybe a spot to open up. Doesn't appear that that's going to be the case, and now he's got the chance to go back to college after he's been in the NFL and play for LSU. So there's a lot of people who are against this, and there's plenty of people who are for this. I don't know what's going to happen, but...
Yeah, but so excuse my ignorance here, but what happens, I mean, now it's at the end of the preseason, right? And they've made their decisions, and potentially he's going back to LSU, but I know he's been practicing with the team, but LSU must be playing ball games almost, right?
Yeah, so they're the same. Yeah, but he's in football shape, obviously, and if you already played for them, or
so you just walk right back into your positions. And what about the people that were holding those that have been practicing?
Could lose. That's why people are for and against all that, and just much like anything, there's people on either side. But speaking of running backs, Nick Chubb, veteran running back Nick Chubb, announced his retirement from the NFL. On Friday night, said, "Today is the day I've been avoiding for a while. 12-year-old me could never imagine this day, and 30-year-old me is wondering where all the time has gone. I've known for some time now, but I'm finally ready to share that I'm done playing football. I wanted to end my career on a healthy note, along with a winning season, and I was able to do that." So, yeah, you can't always go out a champion, and sometimes the best, especially when you're talking about a violent game like football, is to get out of there with your health intact.
Yeah. I have both ACLs, so I'm good, right?
CeeDee Lamb is the latest pro athlete to have his home burglarized while he was at practice. This happened in Fairview, Texas. His home burglarized while he was attending training camp with the Cowboys.
Because they know, huh?
In California. Well, yeah, you know what the guy's schedule is going to be, and you know he's not going to be there. The police department in Fairview said in a statement that officers responded to the home back on July 31st, met with individuals that represented CeeDee Lamb, who reported the burglary. Evidence suggests a single suspect entered and exited his residence through a broken window, took several high-end personal items. The police records report that the luxury bags that were stolen, the 4 of them, was valued at over $300,000.
Right. Because I know you're going to be gone. I know you're rich, and I'm not too worried about somebody. But what about, security system, big dogs, other people staying there?
We had one instance of it last week. Then it happened again on Friday night. The Chicago Sky Golden State Valkyries game on Friday interrupted in the third quarter after multiple sex toys were thrown on the court at the Wintrust Arena. Play was stopped as players remained on the court. Items were removed. The guard for the Sky, Natasha Cloud, who was the same one who got into it with Enos Kanter on Sunday, sounded off on the fans who have taken part in the disruptions, calling them lame as F. That hate is unwarranted. It says more about the internal struggles of that individual than it ever will say about the collective group that they have a problem with. And the men that are throwing it, it shows shows that you are weak, extremely weak, and it says a lot about how you feel about women. But we're doing this again, 2025, and now back again in 2026.
Multiple, you said, not just one.
It's the sequel. It's part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Raining.
Multiple green dildos. A high school football coach in Simi Valley was fired after a video surfaced showing him kicking a ball into a student's groin during a recent practice session.
All right, now, mommy,
purposefully?
It sounds like he got really pissed off and he sort of had a temper tantrum reaction, kicked the ball, and it just was kind of right at the kid's groin. I don't think he
meant to, but it was...
Well, I think he meant to kick the ball, but I don't think his intended target was the kid. He just was, Reviewing the incident, the Simi Valley Unified School District decided to fire Adam Brubaker as the football coach of Royal High School. The firing happened just hours before the school season opening game on Friday. The campus camera recording the incident, eyewitnesses say it appears to show a visibly upset Brubaker advancing toward a player, suddenly kicking a nearby football that then struck the player in the groin and caused him to fall to the ground in pain. He actually owned up to it. He owned his garbage, said, I kicked the ball and it hit him in the groin area, and instantly I felt like I was going to pass out. I feel obviously a great deal of remorse for what happened. It was a 1 in a million shot.
Yeah, so he lost his temper and got angry and went to kick the ball, and then it injured a student, a player.
And so he got fired. And as I mentioned, we were going to get back to the Mets, and we're going to do that right now. What is the first rule of Fight Club, Gene?
You should just be quiet and not talk about it.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Well, Mets fans wanted to one-up the Cubs fans in the brawl between the White Sox fans, and they did so. The second rule of Fight Club might be don't jump from a couple of rows up ahead. Did you see this guy? You got to see it.
You got on him?
He yeeted. He drop kicked him from a couple rows up. Did you see this guy?
I did not.
The Mets and the White Sox brawl.
Well, I saw that part of that, but I guess
this guy jumped. He jumped both feet into the fracas, yeeted onto this guy like a drop kick.
Kick his ass, Seabass!
If you haven't seen the video, it's wild, but Mets fans and White Sox fans getting into it, and this guy just jumps out of nowhere, right straight from the sky on top of people. It's crazy. You had Spider-Man breaking up fights up there in Minneapolis. You had this guy, a lunatic, jumping all over people in the stands. Look at this guy. It's crazy.
So they're way up there, too.
Oh, yeah. That's way too up there to be doing that stuff. All it takes is one
That's what I'm
false
saying.
and next thing you know, you're dead. You're over the edge and you're gone, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you could tumble and keep going and you got no say in the matter, and next thing you know, your neck's broken and you're on the pavement. Way too up there. You want to do that near the field where you got a squishier landing. Squooshier. As Office Cora would say.
What is it? Squishy.
Squooshy.
You don't want to do
this
that.
Guy, that is a lunatic move, man.
Yes.
You really got to be interested in fighting people to jump like that. If you haven't seen it, it's wild.
And then
everyone's wrestling around. Well, and you may not have even landed on somebody. You might have, the crowd could have cleared. It's like stage diving, right? You kind of take your life in your own hands. They could have cleared
out.
There's
plenty of empty seats up there because I think they cleared it out. People were like, I don't want any part of this
Crazy.
Guy eating on me. Don't want that.
What a move, though. What a move. I spend too much money on beer and food at games to go yeeting on people. Hell no. My fat ass.
And you could, right over
Like I said, you could tumble and roll right over the edge, and the next thing you know, you're dead on the concrete. That's a fool's errand right there, Gene.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Got a Karen of the day that we'll get to here in just a bit. Actually got a text from Benjamin who said it's very rare, but sometimes the situation calls for a Karen.
You were saying you might have agreed with this.
I 100% agree. The more I think about it, the more I agree.
Okay.
The more it aligns with my personal profile. We'll get to that here in a bit, just after 8 o'clock. Also, Bad News, Happy Music a little later on. Send in your emails, your text messages. Go to rockmornings.com to get in touch with us. Thanks again to Zach, who got in touch with us about his father passing away. My sincere condolences.
Mm-hmm.
His dad's favorite band was Metallica. Wanted to hear some, so we did that a while ago. Thank you, Zach. My wife has a very unique name. I don't think I've ever met in my entire life, all 50 years of it, another person named with the same name as my wife. Have you?
No.
My wife's one of those people that complains when you go to the gift shop in a new city and you can't find a keychain with your name on it.
Mm-hmm.
Or a magnet, right? Like Brian visited South Carolina. My wife, not so much. Now, it's a good name. I like it. I don't have a problem with it, but it's unique. It's different. It's interesting. People are doing that, though, especially nowadays, right? They're really starting to lean into that. We're not seeing as many Joshes or Bills or Brians or Steves.
Oh, there haven't been for a long time. Those are pretty.
They're trending in a different direction.
Yes, they have been for a very long time. You don't meet very many of those kind of names anymore.
Well, the new trend,
traditional,
especially for boys or people who identify as boys, is naming your kids after weapons. Now, I don't think there's a bazooka running around, but you never know.
But you don't know. Machete?
That's a good one. Have you met my son, Machete?
Yeah. Nunchucks.
I like where your head's at here. Gunner, Wesson, like Smith and Wesson.
Yes.
Caliber.
That's been a while. That's been popular for a while.
Shooter McGavin. Trigger. I don't know, like Trigger. Blade.
Trig V. I grew up with Trig V.
That's not.
And then you could trigger.
Trig V is more about that's the Polish community, right?
Yes,
or the Amish community.
You could make Trig short for it, though.
Blade. How about that? Get confused with Blade, the Daywalker. Cannon, Remington, Beretta, Colt, Ruger, Winchester, Arson. Arson is a weapon? That's a crime, baby.
Yeah.
That's a crime. You're calling
Did this whole field burn down? Yeah. Where was arson at the time? I don't know.
What about larceny? We're calling our kids larceny now. Cutter,
embezzlement, meat embezzlement.
Cutter and dagger are another couple examples, but the emerging trend, I guess, is naming kids after weapons. Some people obviously are very upset because that's what happens in this day and age. Everybody has an opinion. Wondering if aggressive or violent names are a problem.
Is this serial killer names? Are they naming them after serial killers?
You're not naming your kid Hitler or Dahmer, are you?
No, but
those have kind of been phased out, haven't they? We're not doing that anymore, are we? Data showing that this trend, this baby naming trend, came out of the larger last names as first names movement, like Hunter or Archer.
Yep.
Made it easier for first names to lean into longer brand names, less conventional stuff. Baby name expert says, quote, weapons-inspired names may have a renegade spirit, which has been a rising theme. Maverick ranks higher than ever. Cowboy-style names like Dutton, Stetson, and Boone are climbing the charts.
Ellis, Onyx.
However, some experts warn that the names, the weapon names, may not age well. They may glamorize violence, and they may tie your kid to a name that comes with baggage or could become a joke.
Well, some of those, like Gunner is a Scandinavian name in general, right? I wouldn't necessarily think that that's necessary.
Right, but if you're not Scandinavian,
and you're however, is weird.
Well, yeah, how'd you get the name Arson? I don't know, my hippie parents.
That's weird.
Right,
that's a little weird. I mean, I don't think much about... I don't even Remy or Maverick. I think of
the movie with Mel Gibson. Other people say it's just one example of creativity coming to boys' names after generations of parents sticking to things like Jim and Bill and Bob.
Haven't been that in a long.
Also,
time,
most people aren't naming their kids after bazookas or stealth bombers or, tanks.
Yes.
I don't know. Tank's a pretty good name. But yeah.
Dog.
Apparently, the new naming trend is to name your kids after weapons. Courtney says, Gene just killing it with the names. Well, if there's one person in the studio who knows their weapons, it would be Gene. Did you have any ulterior name or alternative names for your kids before they were born? Or did you guys know?
Yeah, we had. Well, I knew right away if we were going to have a boy, it was going to be Henry. That was just something I had. One of the when you're young and you think of the name, and same with Grace. They were way
planned
up
out
there.
in advance.
But we had to have other names in case, options. So we had a few. It wasn't a super long list, but we had a couple.
What was the options for Henry?
Owen.
Owen's a good one. Mm-hmm. He looks like an Owen.
Mm-hmm. That was on there.
Did you guys play any naming games? Owen, Bowen, did you do any of that? Did you have a discussion like,
yes,
what is this? I don't know. I don't have any effing kids. I'm asking a serious question. But, like, do you sit down and, like, say, okay, what about Owen? Okay, well, how is that going to look when he's 13, 18, 22?
Yes. Well, you have to do that as a parent. You have to do the whole, and well, how does it go with the middle name and the last name? And is it rhyming? Is you, if you go,
I'm
if
so
you
glad I didn't have kids. It seems like a
nickname
lot of time.
them, what do you know, like, because we were going to go with Hank, and then we never really ended up calling him
bang,
that.
spank,
We
Hank.
never ended up, we were like, for sure, it will go, his
Well,
name will be Henry, we'll
that's
call
your
him
dad's name, right?
No, mine was James.
James, okay.
James. But we thought we would call him Hank, and then we really never did. But
Okay.
yeah, we had a few. I mean, it was pretty small. Margaret Maggie was on the list because that was Mike's mom's name. But yeah, there was a couple others. Never got around to them, though.
Naming your kids after weapons, new baby naming trend. So we got a kid on the way, maybe like
Al Capone, meet my child.
weapon, not criminals, not famous criminals in history, but weapons. 50 cal? Can you name your kid 50 cal?
The arson one is the one where it's like, wow, that's really setting them up for like
357. Can you name him Magnum?
how the small
Magnum?
fires start.
Name him Magnum. Colt's another one.
Yeah,
All right. Gatlin. Can you name him Gatlin after a Gatling gun?
But I would think that was more
Machete
regional.
was that was right off the top, man. You really got that one right off. I can't think of anything else, but that's a great name for a kid. I would name my kid Machete. Just to watch the chaos. Just to watch it happen at school. Can you imagine that?
Plus, it's
you send in this kid at the age of 6, and all of a sudden the teachers have got to be like, yeah, we're going to learn about Santa Claus today, and he's a really nice guy, and he gives you presents. Machete. Could you write me a...
Machete.
Yeah,
I think.
Machete. It's
Machete.
Machete.
It's French.
Machete.
Big knife. Machete.
Machete, could you come up with a synonym for Santa Claus? Like watching that happen. Oh my God, teachers' heads would explode. This kid coming in with the name Machete. We're gonna get to our Karen of the day. We'll do that next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Karen. You what? Why did you do that? Why did you do that, Karen?
She's alarming but disarming and a really very charming modern girl.
Karen.
I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner,
Oh, Karen, so upset about everything. Got to let everybody know about their problems. Got to talk to the manager, Gene. What is this Karen so upset about?
Now, you said that you might sort of agree with
I
this.
don't might sort of. I 100% agree with this Karen.
So maybe is it something at restaurants? Is it behavior at a restaurant maybe?
What are you talking about? Unruly children.
No, I wasn't
Yeah, you
sure.
are. Yeah. I know that's what
it
you're
wasn't, but it
referencing.
wasn't that. It was a travel related. You're very specific about how you
Ding,
will
ding, ding,
and
ding,
won't
ding.
travel.
It is very travel related. It is.
Is it car? Is it vehicle?
It's
anger?
It's plain, but it really has more to do with the core of the complaint. Getting what you paid for. Now, it's wrapped up in a bubble of traveling. But it really is about getting what you pay for.
At its essence, what you're saying.
Especially when you're paying a premium amount of money. Now,
so it
look.
was an upgraded service already.
If you're paying $1 for an ice cream cone, you're going to get $1's worth of an ice cream cone.
Yes.
And you should just be happy you're getting an ice cream
Is
cone
it
for
cold
$1.
and it comes on a cone?
819 comes on a cone.
Cold, also.
That'd be a new one for me. I don't know how that happens. Anyways.
But if you pay $15, you want it to be elaborate and caramely and delicious.
I'm talking next level, though. I'm talking like upgrade, VIP, different room, better seats. You want that elevated experience, therefore you paid for it.
Okay. Sometimes the VIP is a little bit disappointing. Sometimes it's awesome. Sometimes it's a little bit disappointing.
Which I get. But it's not like you won these tickets or lucked into them or got them from a buddy. You paid for these, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have expectations. And that's where I 100% agree with this person.
Okay.
That's where I agree with them. Now, this is a famous person who I don't really particularly know, but they're an actor. A guy named John Barrowman. Have you heard of this guy?
I have not.
He was in the Doctor Who series. He's been in some other stuff. He's an actor, and apparently he got on a plane, and he had some kind of special business class seats that they were sitting in, but they didn't get what was promised to them in the business class seats.
Okay.
Which, again,
so I
have
expecting
paid
a
for
hot
this.
towel. I'm expecting a free
A certain kind of meal,
a
certain kind of
larger leg room, whatever
one of
it
these
is.
kind of bad boys. This guy is a Scottish-American actor. His name is John Barrowman. And he's getting roasted online because people are saying that he's privileged and blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying, look, dude, if you go out for a dinner and you pay $60 for a burger, you want a $60 burger. If you come over here and you're giving me a $5 burger, I'm going to have a problem with it.
So he's saying whatever was described in the ticket that I purchased was not exactly what I was given when I rode on the airplane. Is that
So
it?
this guy has been on Doctor Who. He's a former Dancing on Ice judge. Shared a video that he then deleted because he was getting roasted online. People are disgusting. These people disgust me.
So what?
Like, they don't see the bigger picture, the forest through the trees, right? Because I get it, right? It looks like a rich white guy on a plane bitching about, I didn't get my champagne, I didn't get my hot towel.
Yeah,
the rest of
where's
us
my
are sitting back here with the
caviar on a
kids.
cracker?
But he also paid for that seat, and it came with XYZ promised to me with the price. And if you take that and you do the math and you divide it all the way down to where we live on the poor people side of things, if you're paying for an upgraded experience at a concert, right, like maybe a once-in-a-lifetime experience for yourself, and you don't get what you paid for, you're going to be disappointed. Right?
Yeah, well, I'm not just arguing that. What was he supposed to get and what's his beef?
So he's complaining about the service during a flight from L.A. to London on American Airlines. It's funny, they call it a tirade, but it wasn't like this guy was yelling and screaming. He wasn't taking it out on a flight attendant. He was just doing a video to put on his socials.
So he's talking to himself.
Right, directed at American Airlines saying, hey, I'm on the plane.
Yep.
We were promised this. We weren't given this. What's the deal? And it's very matter of fact, very calm. He's not, losing his mind like we've seen some carry. He doesn't get in a fight.
Tirade.
Doesn't get kicked off the plane, right? He's just, anyways, including, and again, you can make fun of the guy for not having the PJs, right? Okay, I get it, right? You didn't get your PJs that were promised to you, but at the same time, if you paid for the PJs and you didn't get the PJs, wouldn't you be upset that you didn't get the PJs? He complains about a lack of pajamas, which business class passengers receive complimentary when they're flying on the ultra-long flights, right? So you can get a nice little night's rest.
Okay.
Well, again, he's going from L.A. to London. This is a long-ass flight.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to be sleeping on this thing. That's why I'm in business class. I want to stretch out. I want to take a nap. I want to have some comfort. I got a job to do.
Okay, what else?
And here's what he had to say. John Barrowman, the actor, complaining about the service and the upgraded business class
flagship
section.
service.
Hi, American. We have paid for the flagship service. 3 of us. 1, 2, 3. My father and my husband behind. And the tickets were very expensive. And we get on thinking we'd get pajamas with the flagship service. Then you apparently only give them to the first 2 rows in business class flagship service. What's that all about? So far, you're not batting very high. Meal order wrong. Then told we don't have exactly what everybody else is getting on the flight when we all have flagship service. Can you explain? Thank you.
Now, look, is he being smarmy? Of course. But again, I can relate. You go out, you spend X amount of dollars, especially on something that's upgraded, and you don't get what's promised, and you get a little pissed. He bought 3 of them, too. It's him and his dad and his husband.
I know, I heard that. So he
probably flies on American Airlines all the time, right? This guy's from Scotland. He comes across the pond all the time. You would expect some sort of better
meal
service.
Order wrong.
Got the meal wrong. Didn't get his PJs.
So is that why people are saying he's out of touch?
Well,
is it the PJ thing, right? It's the It's the whining about that.
And I get it, right? When you're poor, it's easy to look at rich people and say, F that guy. We should all have PJs and stuff. But you're not paying for it, dude. That's the world we live in, right?
This was his business class complaint.
One person, similar to me, said the same thing on Twitter.
Yes.
To be fair, if you pay a lot of money for a service, then I'd expect the service I paid for. Lots of people calling him a diva, saying that he's, a big pain in the ass. One person said, I'm in no way a fan of John Barrowman, but how do you people have an issue with him asking for something he's paid for?
Well, and he's complaining
People are just trained. They're mentally trained to hate rich people because you're poor and they're rich, and you can't afford to live that life.
Right. How can you not have an issue with him asking for something that he's entitled to? What I appreciated, I guess, about it is he just stated his complaints. He wasn't.
Yeah, not ranting and raving, not causing a scene.
Out of control.
Not hitting people, spitting, not getting kicked off the
Right.
plane. Didn't have to get zip-tied. One person said the entitlement is off the scale. You, sir or ma'am, don't know anything about anything.
Does he have a GoFundMe?
I don't know. One person said, our thoughts are with John Barrowman at this difficult time. Stop moaning about a pair of PJs. If you paid business class,
Well,
you can afford a pair for yourself.
Paid it.
Again, it's not about being able to buy them yourself. I did buy them. I bought them with this ticket. They're supposed to be a part of it.
Behind me, my dad.
It's unbelievable how myopic people can be when it comes to this stuff.
Well, I'm glad he wasn't, like I said, yelling at people on the plane, yelling at the steward, he was just making a point into his own camera.
The plane company gets to charge X amount of dollars to people
very
who
expensive.
can't. Right, because they're like, oh, we're going to make these people think they're getting an elevated service, and then they get on board, and guess what? Pfft,
right.
No, we don't have any PJs for you.
Or your meal, I guess, too.
Right, wrong meal, no PJs. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to complete this whole thing. How am I going to get from here to London?
Paid a lot for these
Anyways,
PJs.
I 100% wholeheartedly agree with that guy. Now, I wouldn't make a little snippy video about it. That wouldn't be my go. I'd probably fight an airline attendant for my PJs.
That's worse, okay? This is fine.
Have you met my child, Machete?
This is...
Yeah. No, I certainly wouldn't make a little snarky video about it, but I understand. I get it, right? Because, again, put it into context of your own life. Where you go somewhere, you spend a little bit more than you normally would because you want
And you get none of it.
You want a special table.
And you get none of it.
And you don't get it. Regardless of what it is.
No, I hear
Whether
you.
if it's something as nonchalant as PJs, right? Which we all just assume is no big deal. Maybe there's some kind of super PJ that we don't know about. Don't they have some kind of crazy Tom Brady PJs?
Well,
wasn't he wearing Tom Brady like
the end of
$1,000
the
PJs?
story is that you're right. He paid for those upgraded seats for him and his travel companions, and none of them received what they were supposed to. So he just complained.
Karen of the day, not getting his PJs. I got no beef with that guy. You pay for a level of service, you expect a level of service. Bad news, happy music is coming up. Going to get to that here in just a bit. Also, some Shinedown.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
Can I have everyone's attention?
There's news.
After 40 years, they still can't find Jimmy Hoffa.
That's what I'm talking about. There's good news.
My family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
And then there's bad news.
I have some bad news.
All the crazy shit happening all over the world, including Florida.
Florida man bites dog to establish dominance.
All right, y'all ready?
Every weekday morning at about 8:35, Brian and Gene hook your ass up. It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Happy, happy, happy.
Brought to you by Dahl Toyota. Here we go.
Oh, the mole people are back, Gene.
The what people?
The mole people in New York.
Mole, 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 mole.
These are the people that are going down in the manholes and searching for treasures in the sewers of New York City. A fresh batch of video showing people popping up from the manhole covers in New York City. People are getting investigated. New York police are investigating a new video. 3 more people emerging from a manhole in Manhattan. Similar incidents. Earlier this summer said they don't pose any threat to the public, but you got these people popping up from the manholes when traffic's going by. They can easily get their head clipped off. Seen that in a movie or two. Video posted on Friday on TikTok shows 3 people in overalls wearing what appear to be headlamps coming from a manhole. 32nd Street and 7th Avenue near Penn Station and Madison Square Garden.
Did they find any goodies while they were down there?
I have no idea. I don't think anybody talked to him yet, but the incident happened at about 4 in the morning on Tuesday, according to the person who posted the video. Police spokesperson said the department was aware of the video, but no arrests have been made. The investigation is ongoing. Inspection of the sewers in the area of the incident found there was no damage to the infrastructure, Which is the real concern, right? You worry that these people are down there doing
With
bombs and chiseling at things and whatever, but I think they're just down there scooping out water and with, like panning for gold. They're just looking for rings and diamond earrings and things that get flushed or lost or down the manhole covers. They're just down there.
Gotta be a better way to make some cash, Brian.
Magnet fishing.
Brian, there's got to be a better way to make some cash.
I agree. They say it's both illegal and extremely dangerous. Sewers can contain numerous hazards, including noxious and potentially deadly gases, unstable surfaces, yada, yada, yada.
Ugh.
But yeah, they're getting all these new videos. If you haven't seen them, people popping out of the manhole covers there in New York City. What a time to be alive. Time to be alive. Going down in the sewers. I don't have one of these, but we do have a Ninja. It's a food processor.
Mm-hmm.
Like a, what do they call those? What's the other word for them? Like a blender?
Yeah, we have a blender.
It's a Ninja blender, and it's got it's got the big jug, and then it's got the smaller one. It's got multiple blades. You can make
I know what you're saying.
You can chop up vegetables. You can make mixed drinks,
individual smoothie kind of thing.
I don't know if we got an individual one, but there's there's two different things, and we actually just used it for the first time ever. Like last weekend, we made grasshoppers. I don't know. I was hankering for a grasshopper for some reason. So anyways, we don't have one of these Ninja Creamies. Have you seen these things?
I don't think so. We have just a blender, but what is it? Is it
some Ninja Creamy users are finding that their homemade sweet treats made with the viral machine are attracting maggots. One of these TikTok people shared that she discovered the presence of maggots lodged in her Ninja Creamy lid after having just used the machine to make a frozen treat. It's a hybrid between a blender and an ice cream maker. They've got a ton of popularity right now on online.
So
because
you make it, you pour your liquid in and it makes either like a ice cream or a gelato or a milkshake. Or
we looked at the blender that I clean every single night because I make these Ninja Creamies every night. There's parasites or maggots or whatever trapped inside this thing, said the TikTok influencer lady. Camera capturing the maggots wriggling around inside the cap. It also shows a critter trapped inside the transparent lid. Ugh.
That's gross.
That video,
so fly
of course,
larvae are in there.
Went viral, drawing more than 14 million views, prompting many other Ninja Creamy owners to check their dessert machines.
And they're finding it too?
Far from the only one who had the issue.
God.
Yeah, other TikTok users posting videos of the maggots in their machines. No word yet from Ninja about their Ninja Creamy maggots. How many of those milkshakes did you make with maggots in them? They're just little maggots. They're fine. You'll be fine. No one ever died from eating maggots, right?
Nobody died. Nobody died, I don't think, but you probably don't want that. And even it sounds like even if she's cleaning it and giving it proper maintenance, it's more of a structural issue or something.
Right, like they're
in there. And
you can't clean it properly, and so then some fly larva gets in there, and next thing you know, you got maggots.
Yeah.
Boy, you want to talk about a scene from a movie. This happens in almost every single cop movie. Let's see if you can read my mind. It's in a cop movie. The cops are involved in a chase. What happens during a cop chase in a movie?
I don't know.
Like an action movie, a buddy cop
they're
action movie.
chasing them, and then there's some sort of accident intersection, and then the cop hits them, and then the person gets away because there's been like some sort of a pile up at the intersection behind him. No.
What happens?
Or they hit something and the car goes airborne. And then
what happens if the cop's vehicle becomes disabled while they're in the midst of a chase?
Yeah. Okay, like that, like they're in an accident or something happens, and they're shooting at them, shooting the tires out. Is that what's happening? They're, we can't chase them anymore, so we'll shoot at them.
Boy, you're really bad at this. This is might be your worst subject of all time.
I don't know what you're talking. What they're radioing ahead for backup. We just had some sort of malfunction in our car. We need some bad guys getting away. Back up.
What day are you not here next week? Monday? It's the most obvious of all time.
What?
Sir, I'm going to need this vehicle.
Oh,
The cop's car becomes disabled or it's lost or they can't get to it.
Sure.
So then they commandeer a vehicle from the general public to go after the bad guys. It happens all the time.
They took it right from them.
Or they jump on the motorcycle like Nicolas Cage in The Rock. Remember that? He gets in the guy's Humvee. Sean Connery gets in the guy's Humvee and Nicolas Cage gets on his motorcycle and goes after the guy. Everybody's stealing cars.
Here, lady, take your baby. I don't have time for this in the back seat. I got to take your...
An Uber driver.
Minivan.
This guy's out there driving Uber, picking up drunks from the bar, taking them home.
I got to make a living doing this.
Yeah, he got his vehicle commandeered by a couple of officers in Houston, Texas recently. Did you hear about this guy?
No, he's just trying to make a few bucks, taking people home and picking them up. And
a couple of police officers in Houston, Texas
need your vehicle right now.
Jumped into an Uber. Well, the best part is they didn't just take the car from him. Normally the cops just take your car. I commandeer this vehicle. I'm going to drive. This dude just kept driving him.
Oh, he was driving him?
Dude, I would break so many effing laws. I wish that would happen to me. I would pit maneuver everybody.
Oh, you got to get there fast?
Oh, you want to catch up to him? Done.
Right.
Say no more.
I'm protected.
You want to pull up alongside? You want me to get in front of him and then hit the brakes? Oh, I'd love to, officer, sir. That would be great. It'd be my biggest pleasure in life. I am dying for this opportunity. I want this to happen to me. I want to be in traffic and the cop comes out like...
Then they go
they get
faster,
in the back.
Go faster.
We
got to
be in the back so we can shoot our guns at him. You drive. Hell yeah, that's what I want.
Hey, give me a ride over there, please. Go. Drive that way. That way. Go. Pick her up. De Leon, get in.
Got in my vehicle and ordered me to go chase down the suspect, just running off of adrenaline. I have cops ordering me to do things. I'm going to comply.
Which way did he go? Over there. Go that way.
He was extremely fast. I didn't think they would be able to catch him on foot. I didn't know what my rights were at the moment. I'm glad I was able to help.
Hell yeah. I don't know what my rights are. These guys are in the car. They're telling me what to do. I'm just going to do whatever.
I'm doing whatever they say that I'm supposed to be doing.
As you heard, there was some audio there from the body cam, but an Uber driver in Houston, Texas, his name is Anthony Baines. One of the craziest things that's ever happened to him. He was stopping at a stop sign in a neighborhood about a block away from picking up somebody that had requested a ride. That's when he saw a man running with no shirt on, two Houston police officers trailing behind, all caught on his car's dash cam, right? Because they got to have evidence in case something goes wrong. And the second officer, seen with a flashlight, gets up to his car and said, "Hey, give me a ride over there, please. Go that way. Go, 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 go." Now, this guy wasn't chasing after another vehicle in the midst, but he was trying to get these officers kind of in front of this guy to cut him off. Everything's going to be all right. Baines said he was surprised and shocked when the officer got into his vehicle and ordered him to pursue the suspect.
Yeah, but
I'm running on adrenaline. Running on adrenaline. Officers tried to detain the man as he was leaving an apartment. He refused to cooperate and took off running. That's when they got some help from this guy, the Uber driver.
Mm-hmm.
Said the gap between the cops and the suspect, I felt I would make sense for him to get in the vehicle and pursue the suspect because he was extremely fast. I will say the one officer that got in the back seat of the car looked like maybe
a guy who gets in the back seat of the car.
A gal who probably wasn't going to catch up to that guy no matter how much of a head start she had. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Well, I had to do what they say.
The sad part is, despite this guy's help, they didn't catch the suspect. This guy got away. Maybe it's because he wasn't weighted.
That is bad news.
He wasn't weighted down by having a shirt.
That is bad.
He wasn't weighted down by having a shirt on.
You know
That's
how much more streamlined you can be?
Oh, God.
Shirtless?
It was just, the wind was just careening right off his sides.
Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
God, can you imagine? They're in a high-speed chase, and they get in your car, and they're like...
You just go as fast as you need to. Go maneuver.
I would effing dominate, man. Everyone would be getting pit maneuvered. Oh, my God. I'd be weaving and woven and wooving. I'd be all over the place.
Faster's office.
Honking the horn, yelling and screaming.
I got cops with me.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'd be all about it. Bad news, happy music. One more. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, that's not a good... Ay, ay, ay.
Look, there's stuff out there for everybody, and I'm glad that there is, because everybody's got their thing, and I'm not judging. It's just definitely not for me. But Pumpkin, Honey Boo Boo's sister, that went on the OnlyFans, doing hardcore stuff and whatever, man.
Sure.
Again, There's all sorts of stuff.
So for all sorts of people, isn't it? That's what makes the world flat, right?
Take a stab at how much she's making a day on the fans.
Do I want to know this?
On the fans of the Onlys.
Sure I can't say something that's
Honey Boo Boo's sister, Pumpkin, just recently joined on the OnlyFans.
How about $10,000?
Ooh, you're close. You're very close.
Am I
close? It's $15,000 a day on OnlyFans. Getting taken to Pound Town. I don't know exactly what's on her channel. I haven't looked at it. I have no desire to watch any of it.
She's making $15,000 a day.
But she claims Lauren Pumpkin Efford, or whatever the hell her name is, the daughter of Mama June and the sister of Honey Boo Boo, just recently, and that's got to come to an end, right? That well dries up.
I would think
like
it's only,
there's an initial hit where a bunch of the creepos.
They're like, okay, let's check this out.
Right,
and then
the
after
creepos.
A while,
Well, she revealed that she makes about $15K a day doing OnlyFans. And then in the typical OnlyFans fashion, it's not just about the money. It's being able to provide my kids with such a better lifestyle.
Well, sure, she gets money.
I'm able to never miss a school event. I'm at every single field trip, every single soccer game, every single soccer practice. She says her mom, a.k.a. Mama June, and her siblings, a.k.a. Honey Boo Boo and whoever else is over there, are all totally supportive. Honey Boo Boo even encourages her social media followers to sign up for her OnlyFans. Watch my sister get plowed.
You should.
Go watch it. It's good for
my
you.
nieces and nephews.
It's good for the soul. Really cleanses that soul.
For $9.99 a month, you can become a subscriber.
Well, they're not making money on the subscriptions. They're making it on the personal messages and the discussions and chats that they have with the creeps. Got a text from someone who said, we have that Ninja Creamy. It all breaks down to put in the dishwasher. Well, this woman on TikTok said she was putting it in the dishwasher, but it was still coming out with larvae and maggots.
Yeah, look into that, because I mean that. I want you to be safe. I saw some other things about not necessarily but the mold that can get in there, and you can't get it out, and you can't properly dry it, and you can't get it out.
Just because you can break it down and everything doesn't mean that it's perfect or that it's actually 100% working, so...
look into it. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying.
I don't even $2,000 a week. That's twice what I make in and
I know. I was going to start out by saying 4, then I realized that wasn't going to be nearly enough. Give it a try. Maybe more people will pay for your. Look at your
I
face.
have
your content than you think.
Could it just be me yelling at people and making fun of them?
Well, you could try and see if that shows up, if that has a payroll to it. But
you know what I need? I need an OnlyFans where it's me reacting to stupid drivers. Because I lose it. I lose it.
Are they going to pay for that, though? I don't think.
I was half out the window this week in downtown, broad daylight. Somebody looking at me. I didn't even give a rip.
I think you're going to have to.
That's my niche. That's what I'm really good at. I'm really good at yelling people.
I don't think you can do that.
Yelling at people from my car, from my vehicle, because they make stupid driving decisions. I could ace that test.
Are you sans clothes while you're doing this?
I could be shirtless. Weird shirtless guy who keeps yelling at people.
There is a niche of content creators who are aggressive or loud personas at work.
I like to leave work early. I don't want to be here. But I do like to drive around and yell at people when they make stupid driving decisions. We'll see if we can turn that into a second job.